Madame Higaldo, esteemed mayors, ladies and gentlemen, my dear Hannah and the colleagues at Guerrières de la Paix, and fellow activists and visionaries sitting on the stage. First of all, thank you very much, Madame Mayor, for opening the city and for your responsible leadership in opening the space for us to come together. And I have to say that for many, it feels that we are coming at a time of unimaginable human loss, because in the past year, we have lost too many lives. More than 52,000 people have lost their lives. Many were children, many were women. Families have been shattered. Gaza today lies in ruin, with more than 95% of the population being displaced. The West Bank is experiencing, frankly, the largest wave of forced displacement since 1967. Both Palestinians and Israelis are gripped by fear, by grief, by trauma. So we must name what we are facing: the risk of intergenerational war, not only over land, but over identity, over belonging, over our own existence, over safety, over our security. But even in this moment of rupture, we are not powerless, and I'm reminded by the fact that here in Paris today, we are witnessing leaders who are willing to act with clarity, with courage, and with principle. And I must, on behalf of our coalition, express our deepest respect and gratitude to Mayor Higaldo for standing up for peace and against hate speech. But I must also respect and express our deepest appreciation for President Macron for his very clear words, which we stand behind and we stand with: yes to a Palestinian state, yes to peace, yes to Israel's security, and the only path forward is a political solution. This is precisely what we're after. This is precisely what the coalition that you saw presented to you is about. We are more than 450 Israeli and Palestinian leaders. We are not all from the grassroots. Many of us come from political background or diplomatic or security. There are also some civil society partners. There are some journalists and who are active in the media. But we don't always agree. We have very different historical national narratives, but we do agree about the vision for the future. We do agree that the status quo is not sustainable. We do agree that there is no military solution. And like President Macron, and like the position of France, we do believe that the only way forward is a political solution. We do need France's leadership. We do need the EU leadership at this point of time. And we are here to express that willingness to work with all of those who want to work with us around a political solution, and to give a people's mandate, because the leadership are not responsible. They are not going towards a real solution. And right now, we do need a people's mandate for those internationally who are willing to support us. I will share with you 5 points of our call to action, which I'd like us to stay with us, and I would like us to work together around. We call for a permanent ceasefire, an immediate humanitarian access, and the release of all hostages. These are preconditions for a solution. We call for the support for the Arab plan for Gaza reconstruction, anchored in regional and international guarantees and support. We call for a regional political and security framework, one that counters spoilers, one that provides guarantees for all. We call for support for Palestinian statehood. We call for recognition. We call for reform. We call for support to a democratic leadership and governance that is free from militants and extremism. We call to reject annexation. We call to reject terrorism. We call to reject settler violence. We call to reject unilateral acts that undermine peace in the long run. We call for measures to protect the West Bank as well right now, because what's happening in the West Bank is not taking enough attention. And we call for stabilization, both economically and politically. This is not idealism. This is realistic. These are the key ingredients for a political solution. We must reach a point to realize that self-determination for Palestinians is a security imperative for Israel, and security of Israel is a self-determination imperative for Palestinians. That is the reality. So as I close, I call us to stand together, Israeli, Palestinian, French, Arab, and European, not just against war, not just for peace, but for 5 key principles that you saw on that screen: the right of both people for mutual recognition, for statehood, for self-determination, the right of both people for dignity, the right of both people for safety and security, the right of both people to rebuild trust, to heal, and the right of both people for equality and inclusion. That's our vision. That's what we're working for. So let's ensure that the leadership of France, that the Saudi Franco conference in June is a real pivot, is a shift, is a start of something real, of practicable pathway to realize that vision. So one day children in Sderot, in Rafah, in Nablus, in Netanya will grow up knowing that their futures were not shaped by fire, but by courage, not by vengeance, but by vision. Let them say that in the dark hour, France stood firm, that reason prevailed, and that we together turn toward peace with strategy, with solidarity, with courage. Thank you. Shukran. Toda rabba.